Hello, once again, dear student. I welcome you to this wonderful subject that is Social Studies in Standard 8. Remember, we are looking at various issues, different issues that affect our society that make up social studies. Now, the last time we were looking at the MRA, if you remember, on Unit 14. We looked at the MRA, the functions of the MRA, and I guess you got something from that unit. But this time around, we are continuing with Unit 15. Now, Unit 15, it's all about the Constitution of the Republic of Malawi. Unit 15 is about the Constitution of the Republic of Malawi. You know, when we are looking at the Roman Republic or Roman civilization, we say that one of the contributions that the Romans have contributed is the law, the constitution to almost every country. So today we are looking at our own laws, the laws of the Republic of Malawi. So be there, let's be together up to the end of this lesson. But before we proceed, let me just remind you of the work. This is the work that we are looking at. So remember, as it is here, the whole of this work is your work that you're supposed to cover. So it is all about your time. Spare time to concentrate on the work. There are so many things that demand your presence, but listen to the voice of substance. And this is the voice of substance, because after you get something, you'll be called someone. If you take too much playing, then you will see that you will be missing a lot, hence you will not do well during your exams. So although sometimes you feel lazy, sometimes you feel what, just concentrate, just focus until you finish the whole syllabus just as it is. This is social studies syllabus from both of these columns, as you can see. So the work is for you. So 26 units. Now we are on Unit 15. But remember, just as we looked at other units earlier, they are also in part 1, part 2. But this Unit 15 is not very long, but I have divided it into part 1, part 2, and part 3. The reason why I've done this is to give you a chance to understand it better. So the first part, as we look at the Constitution, we look at the symbols in the system of government in Malawi. They included in the Constitution there. So basically, the Constitution of Malawi I've divided into 3, part 1, part 2, and part 3. So let's move on. What's the Constitution? The Constitution of the Republic of Malawi. Now, the term Constitution refers to the supreme law of the land. Let me read this again. The term Constitution refers to the supreme law of the land. The supreme law of the land. You know, whenever there are people, there are laws. Whenever there are people, there are laws. But the law that is above every law, that one is called the Constitution. Now, the Constitution contains the highest laws of the country, which give powers to institutions as well as individuals to exercise authority. So this Constitution, it is the highest law of the land, which gives mandate, which gives power, which gives something to do to institutions or groups or individuals. So that one gives authority to people, gives power to people to do some other things. That is the law or the Constitution. Now let us look at the example of the Constitution of the Republic of Malawi. What is contained inside that Constitution of the Republic of Malawi? So let's look at a number of issues that we get inside the Constitution. Number 1, we have a list of very important guidelines which the people felt were necessary for the nations. So the Constitution has very important guidelines, which the people who formulated the constitutions thought that these things, they are very important for the country or for the nation. Number two, inside our constitution, there is a list of the national aims and goals. Inside the constitution of the Republic of Malawi, you find that there are also national aims, the aims of the country, the goals, what Malawi is aiming at. And the third one is the people's rights or entitlements as citizens of the country. Inside the constitution of Malawi, you also have another important part, which is the people's rights or entitlements, the things that someone is supposed to do, the rights. You are free to do those things. Number four, in our constitution, there is also information about how institutions should operate, how institutions should do their things. Those are the things. And finally, we have also inside our constitution the information about how misunderstandings of the constitutions can be addressed. Sometimes interpreting the things that are contained in that constitution, in the highest law of the land, can be misinterpreted. The things that are there can be misinterpreted. But then, when there is confusion, when there is misinterpretation, when there is something that you don't understand, how do we go about? So the constitution also provides also some other guidelines to say, all right, if there are misunderstandings of the constitution, how do you address those things? So those are the things that are there. Now, let us look at the common types of the constitution. What are they, the common types of the constitution? Number one, here I have the highest law, the highest law, the common features to all types of constitution, the things that are found common in all types of constitution. What are the things that are found there to all other laws in the country? So the highest law, that is the constitution itself. And authority, features that are found, features to all types of constitution. Number one, the highest law. We also find authority. It gives power to the government, institutions, and people, and no one can operate outside it. So we have ever heard maybe sometimes to hear that no one is above the law. No one is above the law. What does that mean? You work within or inside the law. You cannot operate outside the law. For example, when the law says you should not kill, then you say, no, I don't abide by the law. I am going to kill everyone that I meet. Then the law will come to you because you are supposed to work within the law in a country. And another common feature is legal protection. The legal protection. The legal protection is also another feature. This one is the constitution. We mean the constitution is protected by the courts. So the law itself, the constitution, is protected by the courts. So the courts are there to preserve the law. To say, what does the law say? If someone does this, he has to face this challenge or this penalty, something like that. So the courts are there as the legal protection of the law. They are there to protect the law. You steal, you are supposed to receive a penalty for stealing. Then rights are also inside the law. It contains a set of entitlements which every individual must have. So the rights, or which are entitlements. Remember, we talked about the human rights, if you can remember. There are types of human rights that we looked at. They are also contained inside the law. So the law itself, it also contains the entitlements or the rights that people have to do, things that people can or should do. And the other one is the establishment of government structures. So this one determines the establishment of government institutions. Inside the law, it is where it is stipulated the government shall build hospitals for the people. The government shall build schools for the people, shall build roads for the people. It is not just like the government, when we vote for a government, then that one thinks about building the roads. No, it is there in the constitution. the constitution stipulates to say the government shall provide services or things to the people or institutions to the people. Therefore, the constitution has got all those things. And finally, another feature in the constitution is it defines citizenship. One of the important elements that we find inside this constitution is the definition of a citizen, to say who is a citizen. So it defines there to say, right, the people who were born in Malawi, are from Malawian parents, those are citizens. There are categories of citizens, sometimes foreigners who came and stayed in the country for some time. They are granted citizenship according to what the constitution stipulates. So that is what we see about the constitution. Now, the last part, let us look at the functions. What is the use of the constitution? We know the constitution now that it is the highest law of the land. But what's the function of the constitution? The function number one, the constitution outlines government's commitment to promote human rights. In the constitution, that's where you see government's commitment to say, right, the government shall protect, shall promote human rights. All people should have equal rights they deserve. So it is the function of the constitution to stipulate government's promotion of human rights. And also, constitution describes the composition, personnel, and codes of conduct of the parliament. It describes the composition of the parliament, members of the parliament. There shall be so much members of parliament according to the constitution, and the persons, the people who shall be parliamentarians, they shall be like this, of this qualification, something like that. The codes of conduct, how they are supposed to behave, maybe in the parliament, something like those. And number three, the constitution establishes security institutions such as the police and the army. We have the army, we have the police. Those institutions are stipulated in the constitution to say our country, Malawi, shall have a police service, shall have the army to protect the country. So the constitution provides or establishes the security of the institution. And also, constitution serves as a guide for lawmakers. Those who make the law, the parliamentarians who pass the laws in the parliament. It serves as a guideline to say, what does the constitution say that we should do in our country? Therefore, when they are making new laws, they should not just go to bed, sleep, and dream about the new laws and say, I have thought that we should have this law. No. The laws must be derived from the already present constitution. So it acts as a guide, right? The constitution is this, all right? Okay, let us make this law like this. What about that? They agree into that. Various organs of the state to run in a legal and orderly manner. Without the law, there is disorder. So for the country to avoid chaos and disorder, there must be the law. So it assists various organizations to operate within the law so that there is order all the time. And also, the constitution directs the citizens to authorize and control the exercise of all legal, political authority in the country. So it directs the citizens to authorize and control their exercise of the legal, political, and the authority in the country. So what we're saying here is that the citizens, they're given authority. They're directed to say, right, if you need this, who are you going to meet? If you want this, to say this, who are you going to present to? So that is the constitution. It tells you who to meet on different issues. The constitution provides remedy to those who are affected if powers are not exercised properly. So it is having a remedy to say, right, if you have power and sometimes you abuse people, therefore the constitution is there to say, right, okay, if someone does this, this must fall. So the constitution it provides remedy to those who are affected. If people are affected by injustice, therefore, going back to the Constitution, what does it say? There must be justice. Then it provides a remedy in that way. And also, the final one is the Constitution introduces a protected system of checks and balances to ensure that no branch of the government will overshadow the other. So each and every branch or institution, there is no institution that is above the other. The army is not above the police, is not above the agriculture, is not above. No institution is above the other, because each and every government institution operates within the limits of the law. The army, they have got their limits. That's why sometimes when you have maybe demonstrations, whatever, the army cannot just come from anywhere to say, all right, let us suppress these things. No, the police is their duty. That's why unless things are out of hand, that's they see now, here it is out of hand, it is our responsibility. So each and every institution, it works within the Constitution. No one institution is above the other to say, the hospital is above agriculture or education is above fisheries. No. As long as it is a government institution, they all operate as the same within the boundaries of their rights or their rules of the Constitution. So that's what we see the Constitution introduces as a protected system, and it checks and balances to say, all right, you are not above us, you are not above us. Every institution works according to the law. Now, to this far, we have come to the end of our lesson today, whereby we are looking at the Constitution of Malawi. This part is the Unit 15, Part 1, whereby we are concentrating on the Constitution. But before we proceed to Part 2, here is the work. So the work is here. I urge you to pause the video a little bit, and therefore copy everything. After you copy, then you write, provide the answers, good answers, and present them to your teacher or whoever can assist you so that you do that. If you have missed any of the issues that we have discussed here, please replay the video so that you understand everything. In our next lesson, we are still continuing in Unit 15, but next will be Part 2. But in Part 2, we're going to look at structure of the government of Malawi. Structure of the government of Malawi. So according to the Constitution, what does it say about the structure of the government of Malawi? How should the government operate? How does the government operate? It is a good part indeed, and don't miss out this part. But I thank you so much for your attention, and until next time, thank you so much.